Welcome to Tech Talk Central and another deep dive. I'm Nathan.
And I'm Sarah.
And today we are tackling a question a lot of you probably have if you're shopping for a fitness watch on, a realistic budget.
You're looking at two of the biggest names out there, the Garmin Venu Sq and the Fitbit Versa 4.
Exactly. And they look similar, they promise similar things, but when you dig into the material, their philosophies are pretty different.
They really are. So our mission today is to unpack all of that for you. The specs, the user experience, all of it. So by the end of this, you'll know which one is actually the right fit for you.
All right, let's get right into it. The first thing you notice is the hardware, the physical device on your wrist.
Yeah, and at first glance, they're both going for that squarish, modern look. Both use AMOLED screens, which is great.
It's bright colors, easy to see outside.
Right? The Fitbit, the Versa 4, gives you a slightly larger screen. It's 1.58 inches.
Okay. And the Garmin.
The Venu Sq2 is a little smaller at 1.41 inches. So a small win for Fitbit if you just want the biggest display possible.
But that's not the whole story on the physical design, is it? Because the weight, I saw this in the specs, and it's kind of shocking.
Oh, it's a huge difference. This is where it gets really interesting. The Garmin Venu Sq2 weighs just 1.3 ounces.
1.3, okay, that's incredibly light.
It is. Now, the Fitbit Versa 4 comes in at 6.3 ounces.
Whoa, wait, 6.3? That's nearly 5 times heavier.
Exactly. And for something you wear 24/7 even when you sleep, that is a massive, massive difference in feel.
I mean, I would think that affects more than just comfort, right? If you're running or doing something high impact.
It can, yeah. A heavier watch is more likely to shift around on your wrist. That little bit of movement can actually mess with the accuracy of the heart rate sensor.
So the lighter Garmin might actually give you cleaner data during a hard workout.
It's definitely a factor to consider. The Venu Sq2 also has an always-on display mode, which is great for quick glances mid-exercise.
And it does that while being super efficient, which I think is the perfect lead into our next point.
Battery life.
Yes, the endurance test. For a lot of people, this is the single most important factor.
And this is where Garmin just runs away with it. The Venu Sq2 offers up to 11 days of battery life in smartwatch mode.
11 days. That's almost 2 weeks. You could go on vacation and not even pack the charger.
You really could. It completely changes how you interact with the device. You just don't think about charging it.
So how does the Versa 4 stack up against, that massive number?
Well, the Versa 4 offers 6+ days, which on its own isn't bad at all.
6 days is respectable, sure, but it's almost half of what the Garmin offers.
It is, and there's a really important catch for anyone who does outdoor activities.
Uh-oh.
If you use the continuous GPS on the Versa 4, like for a long run or a bike ride, the battery life drops to a maximum of 12 hours.
12 hours. So if you're a hiker or a cyclist doing a long weekend, you'd have to charge it every single night.
You would. And you might miss out on sleep tracking data because of it. With the Garmin's 11 days, you can track multiple long GPS activities, all your sleep, your recovery, and still have days of battery left.
That's a fundamental difference. It really shows where their priorities are.
For sure. Fitbit is optimizing for a bigger screen and certain features, while Garmin is all in on efficiency and, well, endurance.
Okay, so let's move on to the core function.
Yeah.
The actual fitness tracking. They both have GPS. They both track your activity all day. Where do they split?
They split pretty dramatically on structure and cost. Let's start with Fitbit. The Versa 4 is all about quantity. It has over 40 exercise modes.
40? That's a lot of modes.
It is. And its main guiding metric is something called the Daily Readiness Score.
And what's that?
It analyzes your sleep, your recent activity, your heart rate variability, and basically tells you if your body is ready for a tough workout or if you should focus on recovery.
That sounds really useful.
It is, but here's the pivot point. That feature, along with your personalized sleep profile, is part of Fitbit Premium. You get a 6-month trial included with the watch, but after that, it's a paid monthly subscription to keep access to those key insights.
Wow. So the main feature that guides your training is actually behind a recurring paywall.
Correct. It changes the whole value proposition over the long term.
Okay, so how does Garmin handle it?
Garmin's approach is different. It has fewer modes, about 25 plus, but they're very comprehensive. Running, swimming, cycling, even golf and HIIT.
And their coaching philosophy.
It's all about free, structured training. The watch comes with preloaded workouts, cardio, yoga, strength all free. And the real standout is Garmin Coach.
Tell me about that.
Garmin Coach gives you free, adaptive training plans for running goals. So if you want to run a 5K or a half marathon, it creates a plan for you that adapts based on your performance. No subscription needed.
So that's the big decision for the user then. Do you want more modes and a readiness score that you'll eventually have to pay for, or fewer modes with free, structured, goal-based coaching built right in?
That's the core of it. The Garmin value is all up front.
Okay, let's look beyond the workout. The 247 health metrics. Body battery, SpO2. What are the key differences there?
So both do the basics well, but Garmin's standout is that body battery feature we mentioned. It's a single, easy-to-understand number from 1 to 100 that represents your energy level.
Like a fuel gauge for your body.
That's a perfect way to put it. It helps you decide if you should push hard or take it easy. It also tracks your sleep score, respiration, hydration, and stress in great detail.
And what about the Versa 4's special metrics?
The Versa 4 also has a sleep score and a daily stress management score. It can track SpO2, which is your blood oxygen level.
Okay, that's a premium feature.
It is, but the sources point out that turning on the SpO2 sensor requires more frequent charging.
So it eats into that already shorter battery life.
Exactly, another trade-off. And it's important to note they're very clear that it's not a medical device.
Got it. I also saw a big difference in safety features.
A huge one. The Garmin Venu Sq has incident detection and assistance.
What does that do?
If you're on an outdoor run or ride and the watch detects a fall, it can automatically send a message with your live location to your emergency contacts.
That's a serious feature, especially for people who train alone.
It's a major peace of mind feature that the Fitbit just doesn't have in this comparison.
Okay, let's switch gears to the smart side of things. Notifications, payments, apps.
Right. So the Fitbit Versa 4 is really leaning into its parent company, Google. It has Alexa built in, which is cool. It supports on-risk calls, texts, and notifications.
Payments.
It uses Fitbit Pay and also integrates Google Wallet and Google Maps. That Google Maps integration is fantastic. But it was Android only at first, with iOS support coming later.
So a better experience if you're deep in the Android and Google world.
Definitely. Garmin, on the other hand, is more platform agnostic. It works great with both Apple and Android right out of the box.
And it has its own systems.
Yeah. It uses Garmin Pay for contactless payments, handles all your smart notifications seamlessly, and has the Connect IQ store for new watch faces and apps. It's a very mature, stable ecosystem on its own.
This has been a fantastic breakdown. It's really clear now that while they compete on price, they're aimed at very different people.
Totally. So let's just, boil it all down.
Okay, give me the final verdict. Who should buy the Garmin Venu Sq2?
You should choose the Garmin Venu Sq if you prioritize battery life above all else. That 11 days is just unmatched. Also, if you want free structured training plans like Garmin Coach, if you value that super lightweight feel, and if safety features like incident detection are important to you.
Makes perfect sense. And who should be looking at the Fitbit Versa 4?
You should lean toward the Fitbit Versa 4 if you want a slightly larger screen, if the sheer number of exercise modes is a big draw for you, and if you're heavily invested in the Google and Amazon Alexa ecosystems. It's for the person who values those smart incursions and is okay with the subscription model for advanced health insights.
And that subscription really is the key thing to think about long term.
It is. The 6-month trial is great, but it brings up a crucial question for you to consider. How much are you willing to pay year after year for a core feature of your watch? It fundamentally changes the total cost of ownership over time. Something to really think about.
That is the ultimate question. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive on the Garmin Venu Sq2 and Fitbit Versa 4.
My pleasure. It was great to compare them.
To find the latest prices and deals for both watches, be sure to check out the links in the description below. And if you enjoyed this detailed breakdown, please subscribe to our channel, Tech Talk Central, for more deep dives. We'll see you next time.